Hi everyone, my name is Merriam Gemelli and I'm a senior here at LMU majoring in marketing. A little bit about me, I was actually born in Milan, but I grew up in the Bay Area, and so I've always kind of lived between two cultures, and that's definitely influenced how I see the world. Growing up with Italian roots but an American upbringing definitely made me curious about international opportunities and about how different cultures approach business, communication, and even just day-to-day life. Coming into LMU, I knew that I wanted to do something creative but also strategic, and marketing just happened to check all those boxes. I love that marketing is about more than just selling a product, but about understanding people and telling stories and creating connections. And so that balance between the analytical and the creative side of business is what really pulled me in. And being at LMU, I've been lucky enough to explore that through, classes, projects, and clubs like Marketing Society, where I also get to apply what I learn in real-world ways. This past summer, I had the opportunity to intern abroad in Italy, which was really special for me because it was a chance to reconnect with my roots while also stepping into a completely different and new professional environment. I interned at a company called Move Solutions, and they basically develop IoT and wireless monitoring technology for bridges and buildings and things like that. So basically their sensors track how structures move or shift over time so that engineers can catch problems early and just keep infrastructure safe. It's pretty technical stuff, but that's definitely where marketing comes in. My role as a marketing and communications intern was to take all of that technical complexity and translate it into something that was clear and engaging. I worked on competitor analysis, so basically looking at how other countries in Europe, North America, and Asia position themselves, and then use that research to help shape Move's own strategy. I also optimized website copy for SEO so that we can make sure that our messaging was consistent with our brand voice, but also easy to find online. And then there was also a lot of benchmarking, so comparing communication styles and campaigns from other companies around the world just to see what was working and where we can improve. One of the things I loved most was that almost everything I did had a global component of some sort. Because Move Solutions is based in Italy but works internationally, I was constantly thinking across borders. So for example, when I was writing copy, I had to make sure that the language worked for an Italian audience, but also resonated with engineers in the US or decision makers in Asia. And so that meant being extremely careful with word choice, clarity, and tone. It pushed me to think more broadly about communication, not just what we're saying, but how it's being received depending on a cultural context. I'd estimate about 70% of my time was spent on projects that definitely had some international element, and that's what made the internship so exciting. Of course, though, it wasn't always easy. Working abroad meant adapting constantly, sometimes to a new language, sometimes to different cultural expectations in the workplace, and so I had to be adaptable, curious, and just willing to ask a lot of questions. I leaned a lot on my communication skills, both written and verbal, and also on being a good collaborator. I was working with engineers and the sales team and my marketing supervisor, and all of us had different priorities, so finding that balance and being able to contribute meaningfully was really rewarding. Looking back, I think that the biggest skills I developed were adaptability, problem solving, and cross-cultural communication. On the technical side, I also got a lot better at SEO, digital marketing, and competitor benchmarking. But more than that, I gained confidence. Living and working in Italy for 2 months, navigating both personal and professional life there, showed me that I can handle challenges outside of my comfort zone. And so that's definitely going to stay with me as I move forward in my career. And speaking of future, my career goal is to work at the intersection of marketing, strategy, and sustainability. I want to be part of globally minded companies that are definitely looking to create positive change, so whether that be through technology, innovation, or environmental responsibility. And so this internship definitely gave me a taste of what that looks like because it showed me that I can enjoy international work and that I am able to adapt to global environments and that I'd like to pursue more opportunities abroad in the future. So overall, my internship at Move Solutions wasn't just about gaining work experience, it was about growth. As a marketer, as a professional, and as a person. It connected my background, my education at LMU, and my aspirations for the future into one meaningful experience. I'm really grateful for the opportunity and for LMU's support in making internships like this possible.